Hey guys, welcome to Sunrise Extra on a Wednesday. A beautiful day ahead. 77 degrees ahead for us. We're so excited about that. Okay, we are talking housing, housing prices. If you guys want to talk about interest rates, I'm all about that too, because the Portland housing market and the metro area has been bonkers for years. I mean, I remember I was a growth reporter, whatever that means, like 6 years ago, and people were outbidding each other, and there was price wars, and it has just gotten even worse, if you can believe it, in the pandemic. People wanting to get...
It's normal.
Yeah, it is for our area. It totally is. We were still cheaper than a lot of, other West Coast cities. And now the pandemic has shifted people. I'm sure a lot of you guys watching, kind of feel this. You maybe want a room or a basement or some more space to work at home, or, have some weights or something to kind of work out since, so much has been closed. Or you want to get out of downtown, or you want to get out of Multnomah County because we have the highest taxes ever. So there's a lot of reasons, and there's not very many homes up for sale right now, and all of them are going for over asking. They say if you see a price, that is the starting point, and you need to be prepared to spend a lot more. So you need to look for houses under your budget.
What people are doing, though. I mean, we know people here that waived the home inspection, so their offer would be more attractive to the seller, and they would deal with whatever came later. Galen Etland just was reporting on this, and he was talking to an insurance guy who said, I can't really get on board with that.
Right.
That would be my line. I'm like, I gotta have the home inspection. I've got to know that everything's solid.
Yeah, because what if there's, black mold, behind a wall or up in the attic that you don't see, or a foundational crack that, is gonna slide off a hillside or something. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, or bad roofs or whatever. It's going to cost you tons of money, and you're kind of stuck with it. So we want to hear your guys' experiences. Did you want to stay put? Did you want to move? Did you look and say, not right now? A lot of people refinanced. I think both Rod and I both refinanced for these great interest rates.
Why did I not do that? I can't figure that out.
You just bought a house.
Well, 2 years ago now. 2 years in May.
Yeah.
I should at least look into it, right? Man, sometimes I sit here during Sunrise Extra and think, man, I'm dumb.
Yeah, it's a long process. But
we bought our house in October, moved in November, and it was the interest rates that got us, because we were renting a townhouse here in town in Portland, and our mortgage is less than our...
Right? Isn't that so crazy?
If you can afford the down payment, it is absolutely worth it. When we signed all the papers, and the gal who was doing it was like, congratulations. I'm like, congratulations. And he goes, yeah, congratulations on buying a house during the pandemic, because this is historic. And she was predicting exactly what the experts in Galen's story were predicting, that those interest rates were going to go back up, and you get in at that rate, and it's like, yes.
Yeah, it's hard to congratulate a mortgage payment, though, right? I mean,
no, it is. I think it is. It's like you bought a house. That's a huge
where Drew's
thing.
coming from, though. Yes, Drew.
Oh, no, absolutely. Because my sons, they're still confused by this idea that, do we own the house or don't we own the house? I'm like, yeah, I'm a homeowner, but here's how much I still owe before I'm really the homeowner.
Yeah.
And guess how old I'll be, guys, if I just keep making this payment for the next X number of years. My house won't be paid off until I'm 70-something.
Yeah. That's such a good lesson for kids, though.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. I totally understand, though, the bidding war mentality, because when you find a house that you think you love, this happened to us. It was in Washington County in Beaverton. It was this great one-level layout, so beautifully done, and we ended up, I can't believe I did this, but we ended up, making an offer as competitive as we could, but still kind of on the upper range of what we wanted to spend. We didn't get the house, and I'm so glad. Yeah. But you start writing the letter, and you start hoping, and you start, you get into that.
Well, you're just frenzy, and you're just I want one. Give me a stake and put it in.
Yes.
And then you start going to open houses, and you see the same people. And you're get out of the way.
Exactly. And with COVID, all the open houses were timed, one person at a time, so there were lines outside. Exactly. It was not easy.
We had our house on the market in 2019, and that's the same time my wife went out and got one of those Ring doorbell cameras, because she wanted to listen to the people as they were coming in and out of open houses. We were on spring break. It was March of 2019, and she was obsessed with this.
Listen, hearing what they thought about it or something?
Yeah, the guy, you'd get 7 seconds of someone walking out and go, why the heck did they paint that one room blue? And then, like, the person would walk up the porch and immediately, like,
Right?
what's wrong with that color? I'm like, just let it go.
I love that.
It was, here's the thing.
It's a good way to make yourself mad, though, right?
To me, most people right now, it's a mixed feeling deal, because I could look at what our house supposedly is now worth, and I go, man, that's awesome. And then I realized, man, I couldn't afford my own house. Like, I could sell it, but I couldn't buy it back.
Or you can't afford an upgrade, Right. Like if we were, if we did want a little bit more space or a different backyard or something, you're like, well, geez, we'd have to go over this, I get those Zestimate emails of like, what our house is worth from Zillow or something, and it's like embarrassing. I'm like, come on, this house is not worth that. It's outrageous.
Yeah, it's right. I mean, I don't know a whole lot when it comes to real estate, admittedly. I've been paying mortgages now for about 20 years, and I still don't understand all of it. But the fact is, I'm convinced that I'm not going to make any money, right, until I finally sell a house and then go smaller. Because to this point, every time you buy a house, it's kind of like a little bit bigger, has an extra room, whatever the case is. Mia keeps saying we need this, and then we go get it.
Yeah.
And I keep thinking, like, my gosh, like, it hurts every time. Because in the last house, right, you're at the end of the month, and you don't have any money left. You paid the mortgage, you're like, whew, did it again, we made it. And now you go make a purchase on something that costs more. I'm thinking, how are we going to make it? How are we going to do this? And then somehow you figure it out and you're doing it.
Oh, boy.
But until you get to that point where you can finally sell, and I'm thinking about it, and you can go lower, smaller. Because honestly, guys, still to this day, all I need in a house, like Mia said, oh, we should have an extra bedroom and an office. And I'm thinking all I need is the kitchen and a recliner. Just like I had in the studio apartment 25 years ago. If I have those two things, I will be fine.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Multnomah County, the taxes in Multnomah County, I just was like, I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. I choose not to do it. So we looked at Clark County, we looked at Washington County, we looked at Clackamas County. Just my water bill for like 3 people in a house in Multnomah County was astronomical. Like it was $400 or $500 for 3 months because they kind of bundle them.
That seems really high.
Oh my God, yes.
But I mean, like,
in Clackamas, I get a bill from the water provider. It's like $25 a month.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, thank you, Clackamas County. They're talking about raising the rates, though. I just got notified, so maybe that's going to run out at some point.
Is your water and sewer in a separate bill? Do you know?
Now?
Should be all the same.
Yeah, mine's the same. I'm just wondering, we live in the same county, and I'm paying 120, and you're paying 25.
Yeah, but I don't. Who's your provider? Now I can't. I'm asking you. I'm not sure if I can remember mine.
I'd have to think
it's all relatively new.
Right. It all gets like directly withdrawn now, right? It's like I think there's only there's 3 bills I still pay, by hand, so to speak, where I go in every month and pay it directly. It's the car payment, the mortgage payment, and for some reason PGE. They won't take a direct, they won't take an automatic payment with a credit card. So I pay that one every month.
So people are,
everyone's weighing in. I love this. Brenda Schellenberg, dang you girl, you got a good, she says we refinanced to a 2.3% loan for a 15-year. They set it up to pay every 2 weeks. It was only $75 to set up. More goes to the principal, less to the interest. Well worth it. Good job. That's a great rate.
Yeah, it is.
Jenny Carlson downsized. She went from 1,800 square feet down to 830.
Nice.
Wow, that is good little. Are you just single living? Find out what you really need. Yes, that is very true. Lynn says there's a change in the order of things taking place.
Renee Robertson says our water bill in Panama is around $7 a month.
Everything seems
all right,
like
touche.
A deal, huh?
Mic drop.
Yeah.
There you go.
Tiffany says Oregon price is still better than California. We moved up here for a teaching job. My old 800 square foot apartment in California was $1,400 a month. Now they have a house and 2 acres for $850 a month.
Wow.
That's great.
Wow. A house and 2 acres for $850 a month?
Out of town.
How far out of town?
Yeah, I wonder.
Did you read Verity Sage? Serve in the military, obtain a veteran's loan. We know people here at the station who you get some great loans, no down. Is that right? I mean, it's like really amazing. You don't have to put up really any cash up front.
So you mentioned the viewer, and I can't remember who it was exactly, who said they're doing that twice a month payment or bi-weekly, I guess. And in theory, instead of making 12 payments each year, you're making 26, and that would equate to one extra month each year. That kind of knocks off your house, right? So anyways, it always sounds to me like that is the way to go, but I've never, again, something I always think like, man, maybe I should look into that.
A lot of money.
You did?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I've done that with every house that I've owned. Always did the bi-monthly.
And so that means, am I right in saying that every year you're basically paying like 13 months, so to speak, versus just 12?
However it is. You know me in numbers.
I'm sorry.
Don't ask me specifics. Brenda. But yeah, bi-weekly, have it taken out, just forget about it.
Oh, look at this is a comment from Jenny on Facebook. She says, my partner and I have put up offers on several homes over the last 6 months and have come up empty-handed. All the houses have gone to people with cash offers who are non-contingent and willing to pay 25 to 50 grand over asking. This is on a fixer property. It's disheartening as we bought our house in outer Southeast as an investment so we could make a move up. But with the current market, we can only make a lateral move. Prices are outrageous. The bidding is outrageous too. We have all but given up at this moment. Oh, Jenny, I know. Gosh, 5 years ago, I was in your exact spot. Diana says, no buying or selling, but my apartments are raising my monthly rent by $130 a month when they're already pretty high. We haven't had access to the amenities our community boasts of in their ads because of COVID. Although if they try hard enough, they could make it work. Yet no refund for the part of our rent that goes towards those amenities. Now they want to charge more, and we still don't have them, trying to price us all out.
That's a great point, right? I hadn't thought about that. Like that to me seems like a Kyle Aboshi or Kristen Severance report. Like how
a place has a workout room or a pool or some kind of cool feature, and
they're selling you on those amenities. Like the viewer says, when you go and put down that first monthly payment down, and now they're not letting those amenities be enjoyed.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I mean, I don't think that we'll ever get rid of that house. I think I would rent it out if we moved again, because it's between two schools. It's just like a nice big family home.
Right.
I'm going to hang on to that real estate for the time being. Jeff Lucas, did you see that? If someone wants to offer me $700,000 for my house, I will move.
I also think a lot of people, right, and I don't have the concrete numbers here to support this statement, but I think it's true in that a lot of people are selling what have been long-time rental properties because being a landlord right now just isn't necessarily worth it. It can be scary. There's a lot of laws that protect
Eviction
the renter
moratoriums,
and not the landlord. So I think a lot of people who had these rental properties, and my mother-in-law is one of them, is now after years of renting this house out in Southeast Portland and never having really an issue with it, she's like, I'm done with this game, and I just want to sell the house and move along.
Yeah, I know several people that have similar stories. It just seems like there are laws now that seemingly go, like if you're the homeowner, you're the one with the least rights.
Right.
And I have 3 friends that have said we're done renting because of changes in laws.
Yeah.
Rhonda says came from Columbus, Ohio, and can buy 3 houses for the price of 1 here. Yikes.
Yeah.
And did you read Julie's already? Because I was reading some, I may have missed it, but she says, we paid our house off in 6 years.
Yeah, I did see that. How did you do that?
Wow.
You just paid over the mortgage
throw
payment?
in some extra.
Yeah.
Throw in some extra. That's the other thing about interest rates right now. It's like our mortgage lender said you could take out a 15-year mortgage. Your payments would be a little bit higher, but with interest rates being so low, go ahead and take the 30 because you don't get any prepayment
and just
penalty.
pay what you can.
Yeah,
over
if
the
you
price,
want to pay it off in 15, pay it off in 15 or less. Yeah,
I think we're going to, we refinanced and we saved a ton of money, but I think we'll just pay the amount that we were paying, toward the lower mortgage rate and be done a little sooner. So that'll be nice. But we never had, we put in probably 10 offers on houses. No joke. And we wrote a letter on one. It didn't matter. It's all about money, cash.
I think that letter can matter and sometimes it can't. But I don't think it is irrelevant in all cases. I'll put it that way, Nina.
Yeah. I tell you though, we got a letter when we sold the home I'd been in myself for almost 20 years. And I'm the guy that's like, I was going to give it to whoever's going to offer me the most money. Sure. But the person that I did end up selling to which gave us a good bid, but their letter described this lovely family, and at the end of the day, these people moved in. My house was trashed in 3 months. So I was like, so that letter was a bunch of BS.
Yeah, see?
It just
you can write anything.
We wrote a letter back in 2009. We bought our second house, my wife and I. So we've had 3 houses now together. And so buying the second house, and back then I think we probably made an offer that was right around the asking price, and so did a couple of other people. And supposedly, whether they were BSing us or not, the real estate agent, our agent, told us the letter, they really liked your letter, and that's why they accepted your offer.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure that we were competitively offering like the other 2 people were, but they did something about we had 2 kids. When they moved in, they had 2 kids right around the same age, blah, blah, blah. So I think it can help.
Funny. It's like whatever resonates with people, who knows,
Sometimes you can't tell.
Yeah.
Paul Zink, we sold our house in North Portland and moved to Ecuador, living mortgage-free. Ecuador, isn't that supposed to be one of the places that is really great for expats?
Probably, down
Tell me
there in
more.
Costa Rica and all that
Tell
stuff.
me
Yeah.
more, Paul.
Man, my husband wants to do that so bad.
I think that would be
every
fun.
week he'll be like, "Are you ready to just quit and let's go to Vietnam or something? Sell our house,
Yeah, I mean,
put it in the bank."
Vietnam, that's humid, man. Humid.
It is.
Humid.
Julie Wyatt told us her house is paid off. We also heard just now from Christy Shirk. She says, "Glad I don't have to worry about house payments anymore. House has been paid off for years." And I just...
that must be such a free
I can't imagine.
feeling. Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Just taxes and upkeep. That's it.
All right, Joshua Madrid.
Here he is.
I love reading these every single day. Okay, he says, I find this constant increase in prices frustrating. For a lot of folks that spend years making the correct financial choices, we're still unable to participate in the market as the goalposts keep moving further and further away. Hopefully, the market corrects itself soon. In the meantime, the search area keeps expanding farther and farther away. Sigh. You got your wish, Rod. Now I'm irritated.
Well, I said yesterday, he's always so thoughtful and so uplifting. And I think I made some comment about what would it take to get Joshua upset? And here we go.
But the end of that said, ha ha, so he's not that mad.
Willie Huey has a similar story, Rod, to what you had, and this is crazy. He says, so when we sold our house, the letter swayed my wife between the 3 bidders. It was a sob story about a dad hit by lightning and some other drama, so nice and sappy. Then they were actual jerks when we were turning over the
That's sad.
Hit by lightning, I guess it's possible.
I mean, just with the letter that we got, my old home, it's the only place, and we got married in that house, actually. I'd lived there as a single man for years, and then Grace and I got married there. But that was the first time I'd lived anywhere for a long time.
Yeah.
And that house really felt like mine. It was nearly paid off. And it was really my baby. And then to see what these people that wrote this really beautiful letter, how they just absolutely
How do you
trashed
know?
it and
He drove by.
It's 5
Like just
minutes
the
where I
outside and
live.
stuff? Oh, okay.
My old next door neighbors are very dear friends of mine, so I'm over there all the time visiting them. And the yard is just a mess. The house is a mess.
Doesn't
I'm
that
like,
make you
really?
so angry?
You trashed my baby that I took care of for 20 years, and you trashed it in 3 months.
It's not yours anymore, my friend.
I know, but
It is. I
that's
drive
not
past
the
my old
letter
house, and the yard looks like
what these
heck.
people wrote.
Yep.
They're not
Yeah.
the kind of
And it
people that
makes
wrote
me
that letter.
sad, too.
I'll tell you what, after we sold that house in 2019, I'm at the ball field with our boys, and it's crowded. There's a bunch of different games going on. As I'm walking through the fields, some dad, I don't know this man from anywhere, but I just hear this guy go, "Yo, Drew." Right? And I kind of look around like, who the heck are you? And he looks angry. And he goes, who'd you sell your house to? I'm like, before I could even, I'm like, what the heck? And he goes, man, they don't mow the lawn like you used to. Can you get them a lawnmower for goodness sakes? And I'm like, yeah, I've heard things. Yeah, and I kept walking, but he looked like he was ready to beat me up. I'm like, who is this guy? Who'd you sell your house to?
That's funny.
That's awesome. Christy says that they built their house 43 years ago.
Oh.
And we'll live here until we can't get around.
Aw.
That
That's
is
awesome.
amazing.
Yep.
And Sheila says we paid our house off in 2006. Needed to do it when husband retired. Paid off our cars too. Isn't that nice not having a car payment? I love that. I love that.
Can't wait to be there someday. Jeez Louise. Yeah, the house thing blows me away. Like I said, I don't want to wait till I'm 70 something to have that feeling of, man, no mortgage this month. I guess it's going to come when we sell and just decide to go smaller, like Ginny Carlson was talking about. Go down to something, half the size. I can't wait. Please.
Yeah, when it's just you guys and the boys are,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, they got to come home for Christmas and all that, so you may have to have like a bedroom or something.
They like being near us too. I'm telling you, they're with me. Recliner, kitchen, we're good. We
Yeah.
don't need these
There
other
you
rooms
go.
in the
Yeah.
house. bedroom. Who
Mary
needs that?
says, I saved and saved and then paid cash for my home and property.
Yeah,
Where'd you buy?
it's great.
Yeah.
Stephen Rice says, if you don't mind relocating, check out some prices in Cleveland, Ohio. And it just makes me think, my wife and I have these discussions. So if there's a good thing about living somewhere where houses are ridiculously high,
Yeah.
I mean, I have ties to the Midwest, and someday, unless things really change, it would be easy for us to pay cash for a home in the Midwest to retire in. So that's a good thing because we're so out of whack with our equity as opposed to what, the pricing is in other places. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the suburbs of Portland. People are flocking there for sure. All right, you guys, thank you so much for weighing in with us and sharing your stories. We always love reading those and catching up with you guys. We will see you tomorrow for Thursday.